Wait, I thought they were tiny. I thought they were tiny. I did not think they were that big. How do they even move? Do they like use their little toes and like kind of use them as like a little like leg appendages, or like do they hop? Hello, hi. My name is Miya, and I'm an off-duty guild receptionist. And you're very welcome to drop by the guild over on Twitch or on my main YouTube channel where I stream. And today we're going to be reacting to SCP-1762, Where the Dragons Went, Neutralized? Question mark. Fantasy SCP Feat SCP Unity? Question mark. By the Volgun. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's go. Sick.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-1762. Object Class: Neutralized. Previously safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1762-1 is held in a standard containment unit at Site.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I just realized. Previously safe. Neutralized now. What this tells me, okay, so just for some context, right? Just for some context, I do know of this SCP. I did watch a video on this way back, like probably 8+ years back. And I liked it a lot. Yeah, like to me, it just seemed like a box with shit in it, and then like little origami dragons fly out of it sometimes. That's what I remember. I don't remember much else. I'm not sure. But the fact that now it says neutralized question mark kind of lets me know that there probably was an update, or maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I assume there was an update somewhere along the lines, and now I'm very curious as to why it's no longer considered safe.
During the periods when SCP-1762-1 releases SCP-1762-2, video logs are to be recorded for future research. Although instances of SCP-1762-2 have been deemed harmless, they should not be allowed to exit their containment unit.
Okay, that's fair.
Description: SCP-1762-1 is a plain cardboard box that is 32 by 20 by 26 centimeters.
Hold on, I have a measuring tape. Hold on, wait. I have a measuring tape. You guys hear that? Okay, so like 30. So I'm not good at figuring out how long things are just based on like being told the metrics and stuff like that. This is actually a surprisingly small box. This is okay. This is like 32 cm, x20 cm, x26 cm. This is surprisingly not a very big box at all. It's a very small box. Yeah, this is a very, very small box. Whoa. Damn, okay. Yeah, it's tiny. It's really, really tiny.
It is spray painted silver on the interior and exterior, and the words, "Here be dragons," are handwritten in black permanent marker on the lid of the container. Opening the lid of SCP-1762-1 when it is not in the process of a release reveals it to be empty. SCP-1762-1 will infrequently open and initiate a release of SCP-1762-2. During this time, the box will briefly emit a large amount of black smoke that quickly dissipates. It takes an average of 20 seconds for SCP-1762-2 to emerge after the smoke clears. SCP-1762-2 is the collective term applied to the beings that emerge from SCP-1762-1. All instances of SCP-1762-2 bear resemblance to various types of dragons in both Eastern and Western depictions, albeit in similar forms to that of origami models. Analysis of SCP-1762-2 reveals that they are composed of kami paper.
I wonder what kami paper is. Is it like origami paper? I know that kami in Japanese. I don't know like if the tones matter. But I know like one of the meanings is like God, right? Like it translates to God in one of the ways it's said. But I don't know if it's like a pun and kami paper actually is a real thing, or if this is like a special SCP anomalous paper that's also called God paper. I don't know. It's standardized origami paper. Ah, I see. So it literally is just straight up origami paper. I see. Very interesting. Honestly, kind of crazy coincidence though, gotta say.
After exiting SCP-1762-1, instances of SCP-1762-2 will fly together in large groups and interact playfully with any nearby personnel and each other.
Cute!
SCP-1762-2 vary in length from 9 to 30 centimeters and are capable of sustained flight once they exit SCP-1762-1 and have been recorded attaining speeds of 15 kilometers per hour. The number of SCP-1762-2 varies with each opening of SCP-1762-1, with numbers ranging from 50 to over 400.
Huh? 400? Dude, can you imagine being like a small like closet and then like just literally being crushed by like 400 of these guys? Like, sure, they're paper, but hey, paper kills, okay? Like, I don't want to get hit with like a bunch of compacted paper. I'm good. Holy shit, wait, that's kind of scary. I mean, like, that's not how, that's not how they function, but like, it's just a random thought, sorry.
After approximately 2 to 3 hours of time spent outside of SCP-1762-1, all instances of SCP-1762-2 return and fly back into SCP-1762-1. During this time,
Cute.
SCP-1762-1 will once again begin emitting smoke, and instances of SCP-1762-2 will vanish after passing the rim of SCP-1762-1.
It's like a portal, right? It's like, oh, the smoke is like, oh, the portal's forming. And then like when they go back in and then the smoke happens again, the portal's deforming. Is that a word? I feel that's the wrong word, even though it's like exactly the opposite. It's like the disappearing. Yeah.
SCP-1762-1 closes once all SCP-1762-2 have returned to it. The next date of release is inconsistent. A message, written or carved into a varying material, will sometimes materialize on top of SCP-1762-1's lid once the box retrieves all instances of SCP-1762-2. Attempts to send a message or recording device back with SCP-1762-2 have provided negative results. These documents and their appropriate dates of appearance are being compiled and recorded. Addendum 1762-1. On 2000, SCP-1762-1 began to undergo a series of events that lasted 11 months and 28 days. These events, as well as prior incidents that led up to the beginning of the scenario, have now been classified under the title the Jabberwocky Event. Addendum 1762-02. Documentation of the Jabberwocky Event. Document 1762-1. Date obtained 2004. This is the first recorded instance of SCP-1762-1 opening while contained inside. You have found us. Thank you. It has been so long since we last saw each other, friends. The peace has been upheld. The giants and behemoths have kept their word and have not caused any trouble since you last came and gave the order. We missed your company. How has your family been? Do you still know how to work your room? You are welcome to visit any time. Document 17.
Whoa. Wait. That's so crazy.
4. Date obtained 2004. It's strange to see how much your world has changed. It is even stranger to see how we appear in this place. In fantasy, we are much bigger. Or maybe you have grown taller. Fantasy is still the same. We hope you can visit us like you used to. Though our room is as grand as ever, it appears yours has shrunken. We do not understand. The rooms were supposed to be maintained, as was our agreement. Please restore the belief.
Oh, it's starting to come back to me. Okay, okay. I don't think it was purely safe when I first watched the video. I think I just forgot the majority of the video. This is starting to come back to me. Oh gosh.
Document 1762-6. Date obtained 2005. Only 20 instances of SCP-1762-2 appeared during this event. Said instances did not lift off, and instead walked slowly on foot for the whole period they were out of SCP-1762-1. Friends, we apologize for our few numbers. We have had to remain in fantasy for quite some time. The others are growing impatient. We are trying to keep the peace, but please, for all of our happiness, repair the room quickly. We know you are trying. Your family is the most imaginative of us all.
Oh my god. I'm trying like to dig in my memory because I feel like the more I listen to this, the more familiar it is, and the more I'm like, I've definitely heard this before. I definitely know where this is, where this is, like what this is, but I can't for the life of me remember where it's going. So I'm like, ooh. Like, even though I've seen this before, I know for a fact I've seen this before, I can't help but think of, like, possibilities that are probably wrong. Like, oh, he's probably in the room of, like, this boy, imaginary friends. It's probably not it, but shit. My brain can't help but wonder.
Document 1762-14. Date obtained 2000. Along with 10 instances of SCP-1762-2 appearing, 3 balls of yellow, crumpled construction paper were expelled from SCP-1762-1. These pieces were observed to shake violently for 5 seconds, then ceased all further movement. They were picked up by SCP-1762-2 and returned to SCP-1762-1. The Giants were foolish. Your room was not ready to accept them yet. We're sorry, friends. We hope that we can still see you, but time is growing short for our happiness. Document
Did they die?
1762-15. Date obtained 2000. 5 instances of SCP-1762-2 emerged, carrying said document. They immediately returned to SCP-1762-1 after depositing it on the floor. Tensions are rising. Fantasy is becoming darker. We, the serpents and the hybrids, are furiously trying to hold them back, but the giants and elves wish to strike.
Huh? 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 Let me talk to them.
And make an entrance. They say that your family has grown stupid and ignorant. We hope this untrue. It would sadden us all greatly to know that you have forgot.
Dude. Damn.
Document 1762-16. Date obtained 2000. A single red instance of SCP-1762-2 emerged from SCP-1762-1. Its wings were torn and it was noticeably crumpled. It collapsed onto the floor 1 minute later and did not move again. Upon its expiration, the body of SCP-1762-2 rapidly unfolded and revealed a message written on the white side of the paper. War. Goodbye, friends.
No. I'm getting actual goosebumps right now. I'm genuinely like, damn. No, I hate this. I hate it.
2 hours later, SCP-1762-1 opened and emitted flames that reached 2 meters in height and temperatures of over 1,700 degrees Celsius. Sounds of distant roaring were heard from within SCP-1762-1. At 2000 hours, A large amount of torn paper pieces and paper balls were ejected from SCP-1762-1. Several damaged SCP-1762-2 were also expelled and were deemed deceased upon examination. SCP-1762-1 continued to sporadically open and close for the next 6 weeks. During this time, it continued to emit fire as the amount of paper discharged from it steadily decreased. Matter resembling muscle and tissue was continuously expelled from SCP-1762-1 at increasing frequency.
Who did they make a deal with, and why did they keep it? Who did they make a deal with? My eyes are tearing up. Okay, like dude. I'm not crying. You're crying, dude. This is not okay. Who made this deal? Who made this fucking deal? Oh my god. I feel so bad for them. It sounds like, okay, like to me so far, again, I have watched the video. Not this one. I don't remember which one. I don't remember it at all. But like what it sounds like to me right now is like, oh, okay, there's this fantasy world. What I assume would be like a Jumanji type situation with like a family and like kids, and these kids, you know, like made a deal with them, like went down, like we're like, oh hey, like hey, don't fight guys, and then they came back up, and then they were like, yeah, you keep your room safe. I don't know, for some reason, and then something happened and now the box is out of their hands. And I don't know what happened, right? But like it's I don't know. It's I don't know, I'm just sad that I love how this SCP, like how this entry actually explains and how it portrays death. Like even with like origami animals, they've somehow managed to make it so feely. They've somehow managed to make it so almost morbid, even, because like, yeah, no, like the fact that you can't see it and all you can imagine in your head as you're reading this is a crumpled piece of paper. I feel like it almost feels, I feel like it adds to how sad it is, right? And it also almost like makes it a little bit more terrifying. I don't know. It's not really terrifying. I'm just really sad for them. Yeah, I think it takes away the terrifying aspect. It just makes you wonder, right? And you can vaguely understand what's going on, and all you can do is just feel bad for them and feel like there's nothing you can do, and it's very sad.
SCP-1762-1 remained closed and inactive for the next 7 months. Document 1762-17. Date obtained 2000. This document was discovered lying inside the interior of SCP-1762-1.
Another one? I'm scared to continue, guys. I'm not ready. My heart's not ready. I'm not ready. I really am not ready.
It was written on parchment, and many of the words had been blurred or stained with blood.
Oh, blood!
Friends, we miss you dearly. Fantasy is no longer safe. Our haven, your beautiful creation, is gone. The giants are dead. The centaurs are dead. The birds have fled. We are going to bury your room. We cannot risk hurting you. This is
what does that mean?
Maybe one day, your family can build another room. This may be a hollow hope, but we will cherish this thought. 1 hour later, SCP-1762-1 began to shake and emit smoke for 15 minutes, after which it began to sag and collapse. Several portions of the box began to char and tear, creating small burn holes throughout. The words, "Here be dragons," on the lid of the box were burned away. Document 1762-18. Date obtained 2000. This is the final message obtained from SCP-1762-1. It was written in ink on a papyrus scroll, and also depicted a scene of a painted mountainous landscape filled with large trees and waterfalls. A single-winged dragon can be seen in the background. It appears to be flying away. The message is written in black ink in the bottom right-hand corner.
Master says that we won't see you again. We are sad. So are the remaining others. We once filled each other's heads with dreams and goals. It's so sad that we cannot share them any longer. Master says we have to go. He says that he will make us a new fantasy. He says you cannot be part of it. We are sad. We love you. We will not forget you. We are scared. Will you forget us?
I can't imagine, like, what they think is going on out here, you know? I'm not crying, but I am really sad. Oh, dude, I feel so bad for them. I don't know. Like, that "will you forget us" hits so hard because it feels like they've already been forgotten. Where's the dude who made the deal? Hello? Come back. Do it now. Please. I'm mad even. Unless, like, you know, like, there was, like, a really unfortunate situation where, like, hey, okay, yeah, they made the deal. And then something actually happened to, like, you know, probably the owner of the box or the owner of the room that the box was previously in. And there's nothing could have been done about it. And just life is just that fragile, you know? Yeah, oh, it's just really sad. It's so sad.
Upon removal of document 1762-18, salt water began to leak from SCP-1762-1, and the burn marks that covered the container began to disappear. 3 minutes later, SCP-1762-1 had been restored to its original state. The words, "Here be dragons," were replaced with the words, "Here were dragons." The Jabberwocky event is declared concluded with this occurrence. Addendum 3. Since the end of the Jabberwocky event, SCP-1762-1 has shown no further anomalous properties and has been declared neutralized.
That makes sense. Yeah, this definitely did not change, like, while I was away. This makes complete sense. I don't know why I thought, like, they changed it, but no, actually, they did not. It was always neutralized, question mark. It really, really do be like that. Oh my goodness. Okay, question mark.
SCP-1762-1 and 3 deceased instances of SCP-1762-2 now reside in researcher Yoshihiro Takanaka's office for commemorative purposes. Addendum 1762-4. Update December 31st, 2015. After nearly 8 years of inactivity, researcher Takanaka reported SCP-1762-1 began emitting purple smoke and spontaneously opened at 2300 hours, falling to the floor. It dislodged a single chunk of crystal, later identified as amethyst, and a large leather-bound book. The contents of this book appear to detail various specimens that once lived within the world of SCP-1762-2, though from what the author has written, all organisms mentioned are likely extinct.
Stop! Stop! Okay, look, we were all thinking it. Okay, we all kind of knew that was gonna be the case. I don't want to hear it actually being said. I don't want that confirmation. I'm not ready for that information. Oh, come on.
This book is
okay.
now classified as SCP-1762-BOL-1.
What does BOL stand for? Like, what's a BOL? Has this been used in any other entries?
The amethyst crystal had the following words carved into it.
One last time.
After falling, SCP-1762-1 continuously emitted smoke for the next 40 minutes, before ceasing all activity. Upon trying to pick up SCP-1762-1, Takanaka reported that the box proceeded to disintegrate upon touching it. Its remains are now kept in a containment capsule in his office.
It's the fact that to the very end, they stayed strong. They tried all the way to the very, very end. It makes no sense why I'm not crying right now. It makes zero sense, but I'm extremely sad. This is really upsetting. Oh, dude. Like honestly, like what even could have been done? Like, how do you even communicate with them? Like, how would you do that? Like, write on a piece of paper and throw it back down? It's weird. I don't know. Like, if that could be done, it would have already been done, right? That's so strange. That's so strange. This is so insane. This was a very good video, though. This was a very, very good video. Question mark, question mark. Good stuff, good stuff. Huge late reply, but just wanted to say hi and that I may not chat much regardless to wish you a great stream. No worries at all. If you want to lurk, please feel free to lurk. There's never any pressure to have to chat or anything like that. Question mark, question mark. Thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you so much. Just cry, girl. I'm trying. It's not happening. Question mark. But I'm feeling a lot of feelings right now. Goddamn. BL1 SCP context means Beast of the Old Letters. Oh, there might be more in the series. Oh, shit! I think that'd be really interesting to look into as well. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Question mark, question mark. We had forgotten the magic. That's so sad. Like us? Like actually? Pretty sure it runs off imagination. Like straight up? Damn. I mean, it was hard to like not imagine it, considering they seem pretty real. You know? The last message was the bookmaster's final message. The fantasy died because humans stopped to believe. Oh, I remember reading this a lot on the video that I watched way back then in the comment section. This is very familiar to me in the comment section of that video. The whole like, oh, like we stopped believing and stuff like that. But I think I still have trouble finding the connection between this box and how they're talking to what seemingly to me seems like a singular person, and how like who are they talking to? Because it seems like they were previously in the room of this one like representative, like this singular person, but I can't tell. Like, is it a matter of us believing, or is it a matter of something happening to that initial person and it just being like a thing? Honestly, I don't know. You guys definitely have more context than I do. Yeah, I just have a lot of questions. Question mark. Yeah, the story is connected to SCP-001, the factory, and SCP-1230. That was mentioned, right? I remember that being mentioned. Question mark. I think that was mentioned earlier on in chat. The 1230. Ooh, question mark. Is it in my list? Let me check. I don't think it's in my list. Yeah. It's not on my list. It is now. Yay! Question mark. Good stuff. 1230. Again, this video, I thought it would feel a lot longer, unless it's not done yet, which I wouldn't know. I have like a thing that hides my YouTube UI. Let's continue.
So it turns out, I actually have the book right here. I'm guessing you all want to know what's inside it. Now, this book is classified SCP-1762 BOL-1. Well, BOL is an acronym for Beasts of the Old Letters.
Oh, there it is.
Let's explore it. Shall we?
Yes, we shall. I love the difference.
You hold in your hands the paper keys. The keys that can unlock fantasy. When I first discovered this wondrous land, I could scarcely believe everything before me. The spiraling and floating mountains that reached so high that the rings of clouds were still below them. The great waterfalls that sprayed down from the ancient rivers that flowed through forests with trees wise and full of knowledge. The oceans with their golden beaches and cool, lapping waves that never roared nor stormed. And the life within, such unique and wonderful creatures that walk through this fantastic world. It took years for me to gaze upon them all. Who knows? I may have had more to see. I can't see them anymore, though. The land is now barren and cold. So empty and sad that even the icy ridge that lines the northern forests would offer more warmth. Everything has vanished. All the wonder, gone. All the vibrant and amazing things this world once had to offer, disappeared. I still wonder where they went. I doubt I will ever know. All I do know is that I have my books, my stories, and the memories that are already beginning to fade away as I grow aged and alone in an old man's mind that still believes a long-last fantasy may return. I don't think I'll live to see them come back, but I leave these stories to whomever finds them, so that they can know that they did exist.
Oh.
Beasts of the Old Letters. Alifox. When dawn shines through the trees of the soft needle forest, you can find the Alifox humming through the giant lilies for a morning meal.
Stop! 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 Is this an almanac? Is this like a... Is almanac the word? Like a... No way! I was not expecting an almanac! That's so cool! Wait, what? Shit! Holy shit, dude! That's so insanely cool! I had no idea this was a thing!
A beautiful two-headed bird. Slightly larger than a full...
Bestiary. Okay, that makes sense. A bestiary. That's a much better word for it. Sorry, PVC brain.
grown man with downy rainbow feathers that quiver ever so slightly as they run through the warm morning breeze. The Alifox has 4 wings that are more akin to an insect's than a bird's, but they blend seamlessly with the back of the creature. They are jeweled and delicate, and they catch the early rays in such a way that they glint and shimmer. The Alifox's heads each sport a single large crest, which changes color from one bird to the next. Their eyes are round and a deep purple. Their beaks gold and slender. And their cries. The cry of an Alifox is sublime. A smooth, crisp, and echoing warble. The heads take turns as they call out. One rising, one falling. One rising, one falling. Alifox eggs are pure white until the chick comes close to hatching, during which they will turn vibrant shades of pink, green, blue, and gold. The chick is no larger than a hand, and like any other infant bird, naked and blind for a few weeks.
Slightly off topic. Beautiful bird, by the way, like gorgeous bird. Mildly off topic. You know that like baby pigeons aren't like cute? You know, like baby pigeons are kind of like kind of good. Can I say it? Gross looking? Did you guys know that? They actually look like old men. No, I don't think I should make the connection to old men. They don't actually look like old men. They look like if an adult pigeon like was like smaller in scale, right? It was like smaller in scale and decided to bald. Question mark. That's what a baby pigeon looks like. So like just based on that, I'm imagining what this bird could look like as a baby, you know, 2 heads, long neck. I don't think it's gonna be very cute. I think like it's gonna mature into like a beautiful bird, but I don't think as a baby it's gonna be very beautiful to look at. All birds look like shit at first. They do. They really do. They actually genuinely really do. But look beautiful after 3 weeks. 3 weeks is such a good time, though, I think. Question mark. Question mark. Sky rats? Yeah. Question mark. Question mark. Generally, baby birds are ugly as fuck. That's true. I can't even deny it. It's true. And I'm not even trying to be mean here. I don't think I can be. I just feel bad. Oh my god.
The first coat of down is white as well, but as it grows older, colors will show through, layer upon layer, until a full array of hues coats the bird. I had the great privilege of seeing an Alifox nest myself, after many years of exploring the soft needle forest. Before, I had to rely on the records and drawings from the dragons. They are built on the ground, nearly as wide as a dinner table. interlaced with the branches of the thorny ivy to keep predators away from the chicks. The interior is matted with tufts from down the berry bushes. Indeed, the berries themselves are brought back to feed the young too. Of course, I could only marvel a few precious minutes before the parents returned, and proceeded to fiercely chase me away for a good quarter of a mile before they returned back to their eggs.
Hey, they're good parents. I was wondering if they spoke, because, you know, the dragons did. Or at least the bookmaster did? Question mark? But yeah, no, like, whoa. Yeah, I guess they don't talk. They act like birds.
Nonetheless, I felt a great deal of happiness, knowing I had witnessed such a rare sight with my own eyes. Bumpkins.
Oh,
An enigmatic,
whoa.
and dare I say frightening creature the bumpkle is. The dragons themselves say they do not know how or when the bumpkles arrived in the Black Rock forests to the north, but they have lurked within those rugged trees for centuries now. I dared not to travel into the Black Rock forests alone. That place crawls with the animals of the night and is a place of mystery and fear. The good wizard, Garen, and the dragon, Darwinth, accompanied me all the way. I am forever grateful for their willingness and courage. As the Black Rock forest loomed nearer, I began to remember tales of bumpkle encounters. Some poor brave soul who went exploring alone when the Ashen Trail was not yet made. What dreadful and terrifying experiences they must have been.
I can't really figure out like what the bumpkle is based off of, or if it's like entirely its own thing, because that looks like a chicken foot, right? That kind of sprouts into like a whole thing on the top. I really can't tell what this is at all. And I also can't tell like how they end up being dangerous besides being kind of creepy. So like I'm so curious.
Half a mile into the trees, and the sunlight was already almost completely blocked out. We relied on the soft glow of the carpet moss and ringed mushrooms. The mosquitoes were vicious to the wizard and I. Another 15 minutes of walking, and we saw our first bumpkle. Or to put it more accurately, bumpkles. 5 of them, all hunched over as they crooned over a carcass. From the dim glow of plant life, I could see the muzzle of what may have been a wattle grunt. All of us halted,
that's a new one.
afraid to disturb the creatures. Easily 30, even 40 feet tall. A single clawed bird-like foot and leg that rose all the way without any other limb or torso until it connected with the head.
Wow, yeah, I hate it. Wait, I thought they were tiny. I did not think they were that big. How do they even move? Do they like use their little toes and like kind of use them as like a little like leg appendages, or like do they hop? You can actually see like little spikes coming out from under it. Do they move like starfish, where they have like even more tiny like I don't know, tendrils, or like little things that help them move and they don't actually have to move their big ass leg? I don't know if I like this one. This one kind of freaks me out. Whoa. Question mark. God damn. Oh my god. This is so crazy. I don't know how to feel about this. How do you think their anatomy works? I have no idea. I can't even tell how they reproduce. I have no idea. Like, I don't know, I mean, they rub their faces against each other with the fur and the stuff, and then, you know, I don't know, mitosis, reproduction, I don't know. Shit, I can't even tell, like, how it works. Like, look, like, the leg extends all the way into the head. I don't even know if they have a stomach. I mean, like, they were crooning over a carcass, right? Meaning they probably eat. I just realized the longer I stare at this, the more I'm starting to see the mouth that's forming on the face itself. I thought it was just like a dandelion, like a chicken foot dandelion with eyes, like glowing eyes. I did not notice that there was actually like a mouth there. Like it's just now hitting me. I'm not very detail oriented, and that scares the fuck out of me. I don't like that. That doesn't look like a creature of nature. That looks like a creature of nightmares. I hate it. But maybe my thoughts will change. I have no idea how the anatomy works. I can't even tell how it moves. Like, I have no idea how it even moves. This crazy. Maybe the long featureless body is like a snake's. I guess so, but snakes, they kind of like they do the thing, you know, like they shrivel, they shrivel, they shrivel, they wiggle, they snake. I don't know. But yeah, they slither. Thank you. Yes, slither. They slither. But this one doesn't really slither, right? This one kind of like, I mean, I can see the little things below the legs. What if it's just like not even like, okay, like what if, here's a thought. It's not like a full creature. What if this is just like a cluster of cells, which usually is a full creature, but what if it's like what if it's like spirulina, spirogina, I don't know, spirulina. It's the green thing where it's like a bunch of like single cell organisms clumped together and it forms this like thing. So like what if this entire thing, like there's no brain, there's no stomach, there's nothing. It's just a bunch of like little like organisms like clumped together that happen to form into this big ass thing. And like that's just how it works. Spirulina? Yeah, spirulina? Question mark? Did you just say vagina? No. What the fuck? Question mark. Yeah, like spirulina. Spirulina? Question mark? Yeah. I feel like that makes sense in my head, but the way it looks, I think like if I didn't see it as like a drawing, I'd probably think something else. I don't know, maybe. Question mark. Snakes move in an undulating motion. Undulating, that's a word I've never heard before. I'm gonna add that to my vocabulary after I Google it and understand the use for it a little bit more. I assume it's literally just like the slithering motion. Question mark.
A giant rounded thing covered in thick matted down. Their two enormous eyes that shone like moons, casting light onto the dead wattle grunt and illuminating the dead creature more than I would care to see. They say the eyes of a bumpkle hypnotize and put the unfortunate gazer into a state of shock and terror. Had we not immediately frozen, they may have turned to us as well. A bumpkle has two mouths, one giant seam hidden beneath its hairy head, filled with thin needle-like teeth. The other is underneath its foot, the toes acting as teeth that clamp and fasten onto flesh as the inner ring of jaws greedily bites off bits of flesh. The sound that the bumpkles were making was atrocious.
Okay, alright. So what's the point of that first opening? What's the point of that first mouth? Filled with thin needle-like teeth. Okay, what is it for? What, filter feeding? Like, we're above ground. But also, like, it feeds like a fucking starfish, no? Not exactly, but kind of. I assume like the opening to like how it feeds is in the middle right there. What that mouth do? No, like literally what that mouth do? Because like what? Well, is it even a mouth, or does it just like present as a mouth, you know?
We stood there silently for the next half hour. By the time the bumpkles began retreating back into the dark, the wattle grunt was unrecognizable. A pile of cracked bones and entrails. The dropper flies began falling from the branches of the trees above to pick at the few remains. We followed the ashen trail back into the clear, where a flood of relief greeted us. I would not return to the Black Rock Forest again for years.
Fair? You know what? Same. Yeah, same.
Charm changers. More akin to a spirit than an animal, charm changers nonetheless have a special place in the fantastic lands, and so I have included them in this book. With their intense curiosity and near limitless variety, charm changers can be found in any place so long as magic exists there. In their base form, they resemble wisps of pink, yellow, and orange light, sometimes looking like a human child, sometimes no more than an amorphous blob with two round eyes.
I like that. You know, who doesn't like a good round thing with two round eyes? I've not met a single person who doesn't like a round thing with two round eyes.
They are very pure beings, and have an intense attraction towards materials used in spellcasting, with a particular regard for books and scrolls. As such, charm changers have been revered as guardians of magic shops, libraries, and rune spots alike. Visitors and creators of such places would be wise to leave a small offering of some sort to the charm changers, usually consisting of a story, a carving, or a runestone. Charm changers will take such offerings and turn them into a vessel for themselves, thereby adding the offering's magical power to its own, and providing itself better protection for an otherwise delicate body. Those who keep charm changers happy are blessed with prosperity. Once appeased, charm changers are more than happy to assist those who visit or work in the place they inhabit. However, charm changers can be corrupted with offerings of dark subject matter, as well as being forgotten or neglected. Charm changers that suffer such treatment will become cursed changers, and turn otherwise benevolent places into areas of ill fortune and disease. Cursed changers are black, green, and silver, as opposed to their lighter counterparts.
They're like a physical manifestation of like energy. I feel like this applies, like if you bring good energy into a space, like you more often than not, in my experience, I feel like it definitely, it doesn't just lighten the mood. Things tend to happen more favorably. At least I think so. Maybe I'm being a little bit delusional here. Maybe I'm delulu, but sometimes it is the salulu, you know what I mean? Like shit. But also if you bring like negative energy into like an area as well, like more often than not, things that you don't want to happen, at least you tend to notice they happen more often, right? Maybe it's not even like a physical thing. Maybe nothing's actually changing. Maybe because you're in a positive mood, you're noticing more positive things, or you're in a negative mood, so you're noticing more negative things, right? That's definitely like likely. But I think like this is a nice manifestation of that. Yeah, we got Delulu magic. Yeah, it's all a matter of the mind. Oh,
and once transformed, are impossible to change back. The most tragic incident of charm changers turned cursed occurred at the Library of Naught, where an offering of contaminated elixirs turned nearly 200 charm changers into maddened spirits that began to leak poison into the streets. The dragons were forced to burn down the entire library, incinerating the charm changers, along with hundreds of scripts and books. Drop-off dwellers.
Damn!
At the edges of the coral flats and bountiful cliffs, where the seaside takes a plunge into cooler waters, pods of drop-off dwellers float and bob lazily in a peaceful slumber. They are shaped like a teardrop that grew immensely swollen on one side, with a small pointed tail that does little in terms of moving its enormous body. Dwellers rely more on the current to move than themselves.
Oh, so they're like the mola mola fish? They're like the mola mola fish. They just drift. Wait, you guys know of like the whole sunfish meme, right? The one where like it's just this person like crashing out over the existence. Not even that the mola mola fish has done anything wrong. Just the fact that they exist aimlessly. This person just completely crashed out on Facebook. I think some of you might actually know it. I'm not sure if it's like well known now, because it's been quite a bit. Hey Miya, I'm guessing our real world equivalent to losing magic, if we ever had it, was the progression of society and technology, or the industrial age. I think that makes sense. Like I think like there's definitely no progression if you don't believe that you can progress. Like if you feel like, oh, this is the peak of everything, there's no need for research, there's no need for innovation. That's where it stops, right? So I guess like if that's what you mean, then I definitely agree. Question mark. Otherwise, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I got your point right. Question mark. Bro, the mola mola fish makes me angrier than koalas. Yeah, you know, I don't blame you. I do not blame you. I was very amused by the post initially, but like it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I think the fish is cool, but also like, is it kind of just, is it exactly what the post said it was? Yeah.
Going for months at a time without food until drifting back to the fantastic lands. Easily up to 80 feet long, there are two distinct species of dwellers. The dwellers of the coral flats possess distinct growths on their heads, which are actually coral colonies that have fallen and become affixed during feeding times. Coral dwellers are a light blue color, with lighter rings dotting their backs. Cliff dwellers are a muddled brown, with much more numerous blue spots. Their tails end in a clump.
Ooh. Wait, can I just like... I love complementary colors. Did I just hear a brown and a blue? I love that. Good stuff, good stuff.
Clump of streamer-like skin flaps that ripple and twirl as the dweller moves slowly through the waters. Dwellers come to the fantastic lands once a year, corals during the spring, and cliffs in the fall. At the coral flats, dozens of dwellers line side by side at the drop-off's edge, where together they inhale huge amounts of seawater, sucking down the old, dead, and leftover remains that accumulated over the winter. When they are done feeding on the debris, the reefs are once again new and ready to begin a new cycle of life. On the bountiful cliffs, dwellers spit out water high into the air at the fruit trees above, freeing hundreds of heavy trees from their burden and into their mouths. Life below also rely on the falling fruit for a final feast before winter comes, when they either must go on a long journey to warm waters or wait it out in hibernation. Regardless of which season, drop-off dwellers play a key role in making sure the coasts of the fantastic lands stay vibrant.
That's kind of wild. Like, they literally keep the ecosystem balanced. That's my understanding, I believe. Like, yeah, like, whoa, that's pretty crazy.
The Eskelberg Forest. While not as large or dense as the soft needle or black rock forests, the Eskelberg Forest and its singing groves are a popular destination for commoners and explorers alike. Despite its name, the Eskelberg Forest is not actually a forest, and is instead a single large organism. Each of the trees in the forest is a runner sent up by a large and complex root system which is impeded in Eskelberg Peak.
See, and I saw this and I was wondering, oh, a whole forest? Interesting. For the interesting, you know, entry and like in a bestiary, but like, yeah, this makes sense. It's a single-celled, not single-celled, it's a single organism. That's insane.
The trunks of these runners are hollowed out, and there are openings to the hollow interior on the tops and sides of the trunks. Air will often funnel in through the top opening and blow out through the side openings, creating
So it breathes?
a
Oh, it
variety of
sings.
tones. The leaves on the branches of these trees grow in a curled, funnel-like shape. The constant production of tones by the runners fills the groves with a flowing improvisational melody, providing a pleasant acoustic background for visitors. This constant stream of sound is then funneled into the forest leaves, into the center of the spirals where the air once again enters into the inner workings of the runners.
Sorry, no, I just got reminded of this thing. Okay, so like when they mentioned like the leaves, right? I don't know if you guys have ever heard someone blow into a leaf and make noise with it before. It's not a pleasant noise. It's not like a nice like whistling noise. It's like this. It sounds like a kazoo almost. Can you imagine like walking into this single organism forest and just hearing like just like a symphony of kazoos? I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about it. I don't know how seriously I can take it. I think I literally break down in tears laughing.
Wood nymphs and scholars who have studied the groves believe that this constant passing back and forth of music between the trees is the forest thinking to itself. Among these, there is a small following which believes the forest is only asleep, and that the great wood beast will one day awake and rise out of Eskelberg Peak.
I don't know if I want to see that. Oh, or is it kind of like, ooh, sorry. Is it kind of like, it's hard. I get my shit together. Okay, is it kind of like that one turtle in Avatar? The water, air, fire bending one. Not the one with Avatar. Aang. Like there is that one scene in like the series, I think, where like he meets this big ass turtle with like a forest on his back. Would it kind of look like that? The
The unique hollowed-out trunks of the Eskelberg forest provide habitats for numerous small animals, including sizable populations of burnt waffle and zootru.
That kind of makes me wonder if the one in Avatar, right, the one that I mentioned, like that big ass like turtle, like if that also has a like its own ecosystem, its own thing. Looks livable to me. I don't know. Good stuff. Good stuff.
The forest is also the only location in which the bulbnut squirrels are found naturally. This vibrant ecosystem makes the forest popular among amateur naturalists and seasoned explorers alike. Fire mains.
Ooh, oh, look, that's so cool. Wait, what? Wait, what is this a hybrid of? How many things is this a hybrid of? I'm seeing lion, I'm seeing something with antlers, probably deers, or moose, or meese, whichever it is. And probably something that's kind of like a reptile? Dragon, maybe? Like, look at the hind legs, look at the legs, like, look at everything below the mane. That's kind of crazy. kind of insane.
Intensely proud animals. Fire mains roam the Jainu Plains in prides ranging from 10 to 15 members. Closely resembling a lion at base, fire mains are also named for the scarlet, iridescent hairs that ring the necks of both the male and female and race down the sides and backs in horizontal stripes. This fur is highly prized as a material for clothing, though there are very strict laws placed on fire main hunting. However, unlike the lion, fire mains possess two pairs of antlers that rise regally from their heads behind the ears like a stag, and race across the savannah on three pairs of scaly reptilian legs. Fire mains love the thrill of the
3 pairs? The fuck? Where? Oh, I see it. Yeah, I'm seeing the 3 legs. Okay. Oh, I literally, I completely missed. I don't know how I missed that. Now it's so obvious to me.
chase while in pursuit of prey, often purposefully letting the prey go should they catch it too quickly. While some may say this game of catch and release is cruel, it is nonetheless a fascinating spectacle to see as the fire mains become a flaming blur on the grassy fields.
Yeah, so they're basically cats. Honestly, at this point, everything is basically a cat of some sort.
While not hunting, they can be seen racing each other, and if approached with caution and presented with respect, other beings such as wizards, elves, and even dragons. A lucky few have been blessed with the fortune of even riding them. A magician I knew named Jang told me his account of riding a fire main he befriended years ago. He said at first he held on for dear life as the beast took off, but as he gained his hold, it was an exhilarating and unforgettable experience. As he and the fire main raced through the night sky, they almost looked like a comet flying along the ground. Gyrogliders.
Damn.
A type of newt-like creature native to the beaches and cliffs of the southern sea. Gyrogliders are unusual for amphibians because they possess fully functional wings, or something close to them at least. These wings resemble long webbed fins that can open and close like a fan when the gyroglider contracts and relaxes its muscles. There are 2 pairs stacked directly on top of another, with the bottom set slightly longer. Unlike birds or bats that flap their wings up and down, the gyroglider spins its wings in a circle, the top set turning clockwise and the bottom in reverse.
Interesting. I'm trying to picture it. They spin it? Like when it looks like that? Is this like the official illustration for it, or is this like an interpretation based on the text? Because I'm trying to like figure out like how it spins if it's all connected like that. Like how it would do the thing, you know? Because it looks like it flaps back and forth rather than it spins. I can't figure it out. It's not very helicopter like, so my brain can't wrap my head around it.
Gyrogliders are thrill seekers, particularly the males. During the mating season in summer, they can be seen taking life-risking leaps off the cliff walls to the beach below.
So why is this a mating season exclusive thing?
Performing a multitude of spins and flips on the way down to the beach below. The closer they come to the beach before pulling up to safety, the more attention they get from potential mates. Females can also be seen jumping, though they prefer to glide and loop, as opposed to the male's chaotic, flamboyant routine. When not
Wait, I'm curious. I'm very question. I have a question. Like, if the males already are so flamboyant, if they already look like so colorful, I assume they're very colorful, right? Because look at them. Normally, like, to my understanding in the animal kingdom, if the males are small and pretty, normally the females are big and also dull colored. So, like, I assume, like, the female the female version of this would be, like, I don't know, much bigger and also a lot more, I guess, like, they wouldn't prioritize, like, being flamboyant, right? Like, I assume. Be pretty cool.
Performing daredevil jumps, they spend most of their time clinging to the beach cliffs, or within the many holes and cracks of the rock. These creatures come in a stunning array of colors, ranging from turquoise and white, to pink and gold, to silver and green. It is common for gyrogliders to mate with one that does not possess their own color scheme. This practice continues to produce wide arrays of different shades and color combinations. Gyrogliders lay their eggs in treacherous waters full of hidden rocks and boulders, thereby discouraging predators from making a meal. Their eggs are round and numerous like a fish's, and coated with an adhesive that anchors the eggs to the rocks.
Oh, that reminds me of snail eggs, and I don't like it. That reminds me of snail eggs, and I'm not sure I'm a fan. But I mean, they're beautiful, so maybe it is worth it.
The young hatch within 30 days, and will spend the first few weeks of their life in the water until their wings develop. Afterwards, they will
like
spin and loop
tadpoles-ish.
up to the rest of the colony, ready to become the next generation of daredevil jumpers.
That's cool. That is actually quite cool.
Hopservoppers.
What, huh? Is that an eye? What is it supposed to be? That looks like two legs merged into one. It's like someone like duplicated the leg and didn't really pull it out fully. Whoa, I don't know how to process this image. Something tells me they're gonna be like the most wholesome motherfuckers. Something tells me they're gonna be like the nicest creatures.
An oddly entertaining species. Hopservoppers were created by the Floo Elves about 100 years ago, using an array of housework and cooking spells. The Hopservoppers' goal? To prepare and serve delicious food wherever and whenever a banquet is held.
What I say?
The Hopservopper resembles a large white egg with a single colored dot in the center of their faces that superficially looks like a simple eye, usually blue or green when the Hopservopper is not preparing food. This dot will change color depending on how near a meal the creature is preparing is to completion.
Oh my god. I cannot believe they've done this. They've literally just made a living microwave. They just... Yeah, no, they literally just made like a living microwave. I don't know. Like a living air fryer? They get them to cook, and then you check if the food's ready based on, you know, an indicator, right? Which is the eye. And then when it's done, you know. Whoa, this is the head chef at Olive Garden. Well, I've actually never had Olive Garden before. I heard the bread's really good. If I ever go into an Olive Garden, I will be getting a lot of bread, and I will have very high expectations.
When the circle turns red or pink, the food is ready to serve. What makes the Hopservoppers so intriguing is that they prepare the food inside their bodies, with the help of the magic given to them by the Floo during their creation.
Microwave. Literally, it's just a microwave. It's a walking, breathing microwave. Oh my goodness.
When Hopservoppers have finished making food, They crack open to reveal the meal inside, which can range from steaming piles of meat and delicious bowls of soups to beautifully arranged fruits and desserts. Once the food is taken, the Hopservopper closes again without any harm and goes back to preparing food as needed until the feast is done. Hopservoppers move around on a single human-like foot that is the same weight as their egg body. If in the middle of making a meal, it is not uncommon to hear the Hopservopper present humming a soft, cheery tune as they open and close. It is also not uncommon to hear the sounds of jostling metal coming from inside them as they move to and fro. It almost sounds like Hopservoppers carry a multitude of cooking supplies and utensils inside them. However, not even the Floo Elves know what goes on inside a Hopservopper's body, though given the deliciousness of the end product, the Hopservopper's magic is a treat for anyone who is invited to a Floo banquet.
I'm a big fan of food, okay? Like, I'm a huge fan of food. And now all I want to do is eat something that the Hopservoppers prepared. I don't want anything else. I just want this. Like, I don't ask for much. I do not ask for much. Please let me have this one thing. Oh my god, dude. I'm genuinely like so... I don't know, I'm so curious. They make it sound so good. Like this to me, like listening to this felt like I was watching a mukbang with my ears. Just having like them describe like the food and how good it is, and like just having a banquet of food. Would hey Miya, what would they taste like? I don't want to know. I don't think I want to know. Probably really good, but also like, are they edible? I mean, like anything's edible, but like also like, I don't know if it'd be good. You know?
Eeyore. As a certified zoologist, it's
Whoa. Eeyore? I have to remember that. I have to remember this. It's a spelling I have to keep in mind.
my job to venture into any and all regions in the fantastic lands to discover new species. One of the more perilous journeys took me to the Kukri Icelands, a flat stretch of snow that is deceptively deep. There are countless legends of a whole world living below this snowfall, tales of things such as ice elves and ancient monsters that have been hibernating for centuries. Such legends are an enticing incentive for people such as myself to explore, and although travel parties have never discovered the beings spoken of in the fables, we have discovered more than 20 new animal species hidden in the ice. From the shy and plump Pluners that huddle in the hundreds.
Who's naming these guys? This honestly, like, there's nothing wrong with the names, but it's also very clear that all of these names were made by one guy. So like, let's look into the lore, right? Like, forget that this is a story that's written by an actual like person. Like, can you imagine like how they go with like naming conventions? Like, who's I don't know, like feels like they were all named by the same person, you know? Like, do they like bring it up to like a council of like people who like name things in a very specific way and go like, what should this be? And they go, Pluner. Is that how it works?
Periods to conserve body heat, to the snow lances that lie in waiting to spear unfortunate prey with their icicle-tipped horns. And in all these travels, we relied on the hardiness and warmth of the Eeyore to make sure we wouldn't freeze to death on our journeys. The Eeyore are a group of beasts that have been domesticated by the Kukri villagers for decades. Eeyore are incredibly docile, at most grunting softly when annoyed, and perhaps kicking a shower of snow at someone. Somehow I think the sight of seeing someone bewildered as they are covered from head to toe in snow amuses the beasts. If one does such an act, others nearby will rumble together in a chorus that sounds almost like laughter. Eeyores walk on 4 legs, arranged like a cross that are as thick as tree trunks, with strong flat feet that allow them to walk across the deep snow without sinking. Their heads are small relative to the rest of their bodies and is reminiscent of a turtle. Large folds of fat that are surprisingly warm line the Eeyore's back, and store the necessary sustenance for the animal in times when food is scarce. However, the most fascinating parts of the eeyore are the large, multiple fin-like growths that ring the sides of the fat folds.
You know what they kind of remind me of? Weirdly, like not visually, but like based on the description and functionality, they kind of remind me of llamas. You know, like how like llamas kind of, you know. I don't know, do you guys see it?
Made of hollow bone at the base, these fins are transparent and shine an iridescent white during the short times of sunlight in the Kukri Icelands. In just a few hours of sun, these growths can absorb and retain an astounding amount of heat for the cold nights. Whenever we would camp, the eeyore would spread these growths like a fan. The fins would glow red with the warmth and calm of a comforting fire, and no matter the frigid temperatures around us, with the eeyore, we would always sleep peacefully.
I feel like, I don't know, okay, maybe it's just me, but I feel like for like the majority of these like creatures, it's like evolution loves them. It's like they're perfectly adapted to their environment, and like there's just like they're just perfect. Where do you go from here? How else can you evolve from this? It seems like they're like absolutely, they're like perfectly evolved and perfectly adapted to their surroundings. There's like no reason to go any further. This is pretty insane though. Like I think it's, I don't know, they're so different from what we see like in our world, like what we are used to, you know, when it comes to animals. Like all I can really do is make comparisons and like kind of think like, oh, this kind of reminds me of that thing, but it's still so incredibly different. Kind of wild, actually. I love how to break immersion for a bit here, right? Like I just really love how like there was so much thought and so much love put into actually writing out like and planning out these characters, you know, like these like designing these creatures, whether it's a matter of like visual design or whether it's like a matter of, you know, developing them as creatures and like building a world like this. It's not easy. And like it's insane, it's amazing. Holy shit. Again, I'm still really like bewildered that there's an actual bestiary for this.
Jorthwax. Jorthwax have long been used by the
Bro looks like a cockroach and I don't like it.
various diminutive races of the fantastic lands for transport, racing, and beasts of burden. In at least one of the pixie societies in the Midlands, a pixie's wealth can be determined by the size and quality of their herd. Even the largest Jorthwack that I have seen was small enough to fit in my hand, the perfect proportion for most of their masters. In terms of their head and body shape, their appearance is similar to a cross between a horse and an antelope.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? No mention of I'll take your word for it.
Out of the head grows a pair of relatively large, curled branching antlers. Each Jorthwack possesses 6 legs, very similar to those of a cricket, which
there it is. Okay, like very insectoid. Am I using the word right?
they use for leaping. Jorthwacks come in a variety of vibrant colors, mostly pinkish red and green, but blue and gold varieties also exist, though these are more commonly reserved for knights and royalty. One of the historical accounts including Jorthwax that I find most interesting is the Battle of Kur. For several years, a war had been raging, as the Mabish sprites attempted to drive the invading Kurish gnomes out of their territories. The wizard clan granted the sprites a boon by increasing their size so that they might fight on equal footing with their gnomish forces. However, during their change, the sprites' Jorthwax also increased in size. After overrunning the gnomish forces on the field of battle, the sprites were able to use the newfound leaping strength of their Jorthwax to breach.
Sorry. I'm literally 5 years old. I'm sorry. That just sounded funny to me. Sorry. My bad. We're gonna continue.
The gnome's secluded mountain stronghold of Kur, forcing peace and bringing the gnomes under their rule. Curifer door shards.
Door shards? That's a living being? The fuck? Damn.
Approximately 200 years ago, in the Second Dwarven Empire of the North, King Kurthik IV commissioned a massive treasury to be constructed within Mount Kirifer in order to house the kingdom's supply of gold. On the southeastern face of the mountain, an enormous door to the treasury was placed in the cliff face. This door was enchanted to only recognize and allow members of the royal court into the treasury. Unfortunately, King Kurthik and his builder had not anticipated the battering rams and catapults of the northern giants. While the Kirifer door was shattered, its many fragments retained parts of its enchantment. Each shard took on its own personality and name. The shards are capable of projecting their thoughts into the mind of their holder, usually in the form of images, songs, tales, and conversation. The shards can also communicate with each other if they are in close enough proximity, and two holders which are close enough together can hold a conversation of thoughts through their shards.
Pretty cool that this doesn't just contain like naturally occurring beasts. It's pretty cool. I'm honestly surprised that they included the not the Eeyore, it's the the egg-shaped the microwave. And also this, because these aren't naturally occurring. These are like straight up like, oh well, we made them, which is cool. I think it's interesting because like, what does that say about the world and how they see them? You know, like, is it just a matter of like, they're really not that different, or is it like a matter of, oh yeah, you know, we'll include them? I don't know. I think it's an interesting like thing to think about, but I don't think I'll get too much into that.
Following the breaking of the door, the Kirifer shards were collected and dispersed throughout the fantastic lands. In many places, they were cut, polished, and sold as exotic jewelry. In other places, the shards were treasured for their eccentric and curious personalities.
How do they talk? And like, if you were to polish them and turn them into precious jewelry, like, isn't that gonna be painful? Like, are they gonna be like, the whole time? Like, isn't that gonna... I don't know. Is that cruel? Question mark.
And were used by artists as muses of inspiration. I myself carried a Kirifer shard companion named Hathid with me on a necklace for several years.
Hathid?
The lightning-struck titan.
Oh.
It is a mercy to all of the fantastic lands that the lightning-struck
Is that Zeus?
titan
Sorry.
only awakens with the passing of Vamarov's storm every 300 years in the southern jagged mountains of Kor. The beast resembles a beetle or hermit crab with a dragon's head, covered in a Goliath pyramid of stone and dirt that accumulates over its 300-year slumbers. A huge, crumbling, spiraling tower resides on its back, built by the same sorcerer whom the storm that awakens the beast is named after. Vamarov came to the fantastic lands 2,000 years ago in a search to build a place where he could practice and perfect his art of weather spells. The jagged mountains proved ideal to him, with their isolation and formidable appearance. He began to construct his tower at the plateau of the highest mountain he could find. It would take him 15 years to complete. As soon as the final brick was placed, he began to call forth a thunderstorm more powerful than any the mountains had seen. The lightning surged from the spire of Vamarov's tower to the base and below, each strike stirring the beast he had built his tower upon. With earth-shaking might, the titan stretched its legs and rose, a 1,000-foot Goliath that bellowed as the storm caused it pain while at the same time restoring it to life. The lightning-struck titan began to move once more, eating huge chunks of earth and stone from the cliffsides with its toothed maw, and all the while the storm raged above its back, following the titan as it lumbered through the jagged mountains. Vamarov himself perished as his tower collapsed with each step the giant took.
Rip.
The dragons sought at once to try and stop the beast, or at the very least, impede it. But the titan was impervious to all magic. It was an ancient, long-forgotten creature, a force of nature, and it seemed its rampage would destroy all of the fantastic lands. Finally, a group of mages, led by the sorceress named Talia, arrived. They cast a spell that created the great winds to drive the storm away from the lightning-struck Titan, and the beast began to slow as the energy gained from the storm disappeared. It managed to return to its resting place before falling asleep once again, and the lands it raised fell silent. Talia and her group were hailed as heroes, and they turned their efforts to restoring the damage done by the Titan. Afterwards, they would guard the jagged mountains until their deaths, continuing to strengthen the enchantment that kept Vomarov's storm and the lightning-struck Titan apart.
I think that's so cool. I love that, like, ultimately they ended up, like, helping. I think that's so nice.
However, the two are bound to meet again. Vomarov's storm returns every 300 years from its banishment in the Howling Sands to reawaken the beast below. The last time the Titan awoke was 187 years ago. I fear the day when we must again prepare for the worst.
Oh boy.
Monoliths to heaven. In the flat southeastern
Legs, hello, work! I almost missed the legs. I was like, oh, leaves, oh, legs, oh, rocks.
plains of Jainu, a group of creatures live in a group that grows by a mere one member at the beginning of each year. The monoliths to heaven. Each monolith is less flesh and more stone. Made of obsidian, they are shaped like a rugged ellipse, with a singular large hole running through the top portion like a downward staring eye. Two spindly legs jut out and then fall to the ground from the center of the monolith. Legs that look like they would never be able to support a creature of a monolith's mass. However, the monolith's deep magical ties with the stars allow them to stand for the long walk they must undertake every new year. Monoliths travel between two locations and two locations only. One is the site of a meteor, a crater that spans 1,000 feet wide. The other is a tomb for Jiang the magician, the monolith's creator. Known for his near-eccentric obsession with the stars, Jiang frequently ventured to the Jainu plains with stargazing gear.
This is very interesting. I was not expecting this to be very Asian coded. Am I reading into this wrong? Question mark.
Constantly looking for what he claimed to be the heavenly planet. Such a planet is vaguely described in old Jainu texts, but only as folktale, a legend. However, until his dying breath, Jiang believed the heavenly planet to be more than just a myth, and so created the monoliths to carry out his work when he himself could no longer achieve his dream.
People out here just creating life. Like, people in this universe are just straight up like, oh, need this done. Whoop, you're alive now. This is your life's purpose to do this for me. And they're just doing it willy-nilly. I mean, I know it's a big deal, you know, like, oh, you know, heaven. But also, damn, like, I think we can chill on the, you know, making life thing.
Until the week before the new year, the monoliths remained buried in a ring around Jiang's tomb. During this time, the holes in their bodies create various patterns as the sun rises and sets. Once eve falls on the week before the new year, the monoliths rise from their slumber one by one, and it is during this time that one can see Jiang's determination to ascend to the heavenly planet. The tallest current monolith towers a staggering 600 feet in the air.
I cannot even fathom how tall that actually is. Whoa! I don't even think my measuring tape can give me an idea of how long or tall that actually is. That's wild. Wild.
Each following monolith is 50 feet shorter for a total of a dozen. As the sky darkens, the monoliths begin a slow 50-mile walk to the crater site, with only starlight to guide them. As they walk in descending order, they almost look like the stairs of a giant's castle. On the dawn of the new year, when they have gathered in the center of the crater, the birth of a new monolith begins.
Wait, 6 feet? That's, oh, I can't, I cannot imagine that. I am very bad with visualizing things that I have to imagine. I'm gonna end up like being really, really off.
Still in their descending order, the light of the new sun shines through the hulls of the monoliths to the ground, illuminating the spot where a new member will rise from the ground, born from the fragments of the meteor that struck the fantastic lands 2,000 years ago. This new member will become the new tallest monolith, the next stepping stone to Jiang's fabled world. Once the new monolith takes its place at the front of the line, the stone giants begin their walk back to the grave of their master, where they bury themselves once again, until the next year.
Damn.
Note, people.
Whoa.
In all my travels through this fantastic world, the Note people that live in the eastern plains of Darius stand out as the most unique and wondrous creatures. Living music. Created 200 years ago, when a sorceress called Eliana sought to create enchanted musical instruments capable of producing the most beautiful sounds ever heard. Instead, she created the Note people. As the spell intended to make a symphony progressed, the ink and notes inscribed on the enchantment papers quite literally flew off the parchment and began to coalesce in a swirl of sound and symbols. They took on the shape of their creator, creating the first Note woman. Eliana would grow old,
Whoa.
but the Note woman continued to stay with her, forever playing music when her creator desired it. Eliana would create dozens more of its kind before she died at an age of 152 years. The Note people themselves would carry her body away into the plains they now inhabit. The sound that the harp reeds and grasses make while blowing in the wind greatly appeals to their kind.
Holy shit. Wait, I don't know. Living that long, you've left more than a legacy. You know, I don't know. Like, I don't know. This is like a crazy thing to leave behind, and also like to also, I don't know. That's really old to like go. Damn. Holy props.
The Note people today are just as, if not more, talented in magic and music. They delight in having visitors to entertain, oftentimes taking whoever comes across them by hand and bringing them to its friends. It is rather odd to be touched by a Note man. The notes and lines that make up their bodies are nearly flat, working together to make a three-dimensional form. Yet they feel cool, almost like thin, delicate paper. They can shift their bodies into whatever form they please. I've even seen Note people exchange and mix their music to produce sounds that they could not accomplish on their own. Note people have a special affinity for starlight moths that provide lights to the plains in the night. Being inky black themselves, Note people will often try to capture the starlight moths within their bodies to make them visible for nightly performances.
That's so cute. That's so creative, though. Like, goddamn. Like, I don't know. I don't really know what to expect them to be like. Do you think you could actually hold a conversation with a Note person? You know, like, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think here, right? But I think it would be very hard. Given, I mean, I don't know if they talk. You know, they play instruments, right? Messages can be conveyed through music. Like, that's a very clear thing. But also, like, wow, yeah, it's very creative for them to like get like basically fireflies, and you know, yeah, it's kind of, it reminds me of, sorry, I make parallels because that's how I understand things. It kind of reminds me of in Clair Obscure, in that very beginning part where you see like people on the stage using their Lumina, I think, yeah, using their Lumina and doing like shows with them. I think it's so cool. Yeah, it's so sick. Could be wrong. I think it was the Lumina.
It was during such a performance that I was able to witness the Note people for the first time on a warm summer evening, with the harp reeds and grass humming softly along with the music of the Note people. It will be an experience I will never forget. Ocean sippers. It was while visiting to the fishing ports of the south that I learned of the wondrous ocean sippers. The suntanned fishermen I spoke to had encountered them almost daily on their voyages, and had collected several objects of study. Among these were several sketches, pellets, and even an injured specimen that they had taken on board. At first glance, a sipper looks to be some kind of large iridescent bird, similar in appearance to a pigeon. On close,
I'm not gonna say anything. Maybe I'm gonna say something. Pigeon! Pigeon! Whoa! Where's the
it
sound?
becomes apparent that in
I'm gonna run this back.
pigeon. On closer inspection, however, it becomes apparent that in place of feathers, the creature is covered in a material with a blend of traits of feathers and scales. Like scales, pieces of the material have the texture of the scales of a fish and are firmly connected to the body. However, the shape of the pieces are more similar to the feathers one would see in any other seabird, and even resemble down in some places. Sippers are capable of breathing in both air and fresh water, and spend most of their time as part of a flock in a large bubble of water which drifts high above the iridescent sea.
Flock? So bird?
This bubble follows the course of schools of small fish or prawns. At night, the sippers dive from their bubble to the surface of the ocean, where they skim off and swallow a layer of prey and seawater before returning to their abode. The combination of seawater and food is then processed in their guts until they regurgitate it as fresh water and a small pellet composed of salt and the remains of their prey. The water is added to their bubble to compensate for evaporation. While the pellet is tossed down toward the ocean below, fishermen will often collect the pellets either for their supply of iridescent salt or in order to sell them to tourists at the ports.
Okay, let me get this straight. They take the pellets, which is basically bird shit, and they sell it as iridescent salt. I'm sure it's, I'm not sure if it's tasty. Maybe it's tasty. We eat a lot of things. I mean, fuck it, you know? Fuck it! I'd try it. Shit. I'd give it a shot. Sounds taste. If it's salty, it sounds tasty enough. Tasty enough. Whoa, I can't speak today.
Polydanes. Among some of the most curious forms of life in the fantastic lands
Whoa.
are the Polydanes. Polydanes
They look
can be
like
found
roots.
all throughout the world, though they are especially concentrated in Western cities and in places populated by large groups of other races. In their true forms, Polydanes are roughly the same size and shape as a human, but they have a second set of arms and a blank, smoothed-over face. Their bodies appeared to be composed of various colors of clay in a marbled pattern. Polydanes are able to stretch and mold and reshape their bodies at will, and can take on the properties of other materials, such as stone or flesh. On occasion, Polydanes will take the form of an inanimate object, though more often they emulate another race before mingling with other members of that race. At other times, Polydanes will take whimsical or nonsensical forms for their own or others' amusement. Polydanes are capable of reproduction in two ways. The first is through reproduction with another individual, Polydane or otherwise. And the
Oh, otherwise? What does that
second
mean?
is through a single Polydane individual dividing into two distinct individuals.
So mitosis. So like actually mitosis, and it's not a joke this time.
In addition, Polydanes' bodies do not age naturally, and damage from physical attacks against them is not lasting. In most cases, a species which can multiply without aging or being killed would overtake and crowd their environment, but such is not the case for Polydanes. Though their bodies are long-lived and impervious, their spirits will still age, and often pass on after 100 years or so. Once their spirit is gone, the polydane's body will revert to its natural clay form and will begin to dry, dying completely once it's fully dry. If a sapient individual encounters the body before it's fully dry, they can will their consciousness into the empty husk, leaving their older form behind and beginning their life anew as a polydane.
Holy shit. Sapient individual. So it can be, what does sapient mean? I don't think I know what that word means. Sapient? Whoa. God damn. Yeah, I don't know what sapient means. Does that mean like another human? They can just will themselves into the Whoa, intelligent? Homo sapien. Oh, God. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Intelligent. Sorry, I just made the connection. I've never seen the word on its own before. Question mark, question mark. Okay, that makes sense, that makes sense. Thank you, thank you. So, question mark, sapient individual. That implies that these guys are also sapient, probably. Right? Question mark? Sentient is general intelligence. Some animals are sentient, but humans are sapient. I see. I see. Okay, okay, that makes sense. It's nice to be able to have like a reference for like how different they are. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good stuff, good stuff.
Squabblers. There is still much debate
Cute.
over the nature of Squabblers. Some profess that they are collections of very communal spirits. Others claim that they are merely a novel of variation of atomite. Squabblers are often found in the various woods of the northern cliffs. From a distance, they appear as shimmering patterns along the surface of trees. However, should a traveler pass by them, the Squabbler will remove themselves from the tree and appear in front of the traveler as a swirling pillar of light. The Squabbler will refuse to move out of the way until the traveler has beaten them in some challenge, usually in the
Okay, I don't know if it's still cute. It sounds kind of sounds like it gets in the way on purpose.
form of a riddle or a game of chance. Should the traveler win this challenge, the Squabbler will allow them to travel on. Should the traveler fail, however, the Squabbler will enter through the traveler's mouth and take command of the traveler. The Squabbler-possessed individual will then make their way back to a village, town, or city, where they will take part in feasts, festivals, and other merriments. Individuals who are possessed by Squabblers can be identified by both their eccentric and celebratory behavior, and by the swirls of light that can be seen in their eyes. Squabblers may leave of their own accord after celebrating for a few days, but they can also be coaxed out by placing meats, cheeses, tarts, and spiced wine just out of reach of a possessed individual.
This is so scary. Like, I mean, like, sure, oh, it's just partying. Like, oh, it's just dude just wants to party. And I don't know. I think it's scary because, like, I don't know, like, okay, like for me, like, like, I guess for someone like me who isn't like a huge party person, if I were ever possessed by a Squabbler, I do wonder if I suddenly ended up wanting to go out to party a lot, celebrate and stuff like that. Again, I'm not that kind of person, right? But like, I wonder if my friends and my loved ones would notice that I'm not being myself and it's not just a good day. You know, like, how would they know? How would anyone know besides, like, how would anyone know to check, to look a little closer, you know? Oh, man, this is scary.
Individuals who have been possessed by a Squabbler are often no worse for the wear, aside from exhaustion and embarrassing stories accumulated from their excessive partying.
Okay, you know what? It's good to know that they're not actually that affected. Like, it's not like they can just die, you know? But I don't know. The exhaustion probably would be my biggest concern. I already get really tired, you know, like from like a very simple interaction. Or at least like an IRL interaction. I think like if I were ever possessed by a Squabbler, I might be like the exception that doesn't really make it through. I may not make it through. I have very limited social energy.
Nearly 40 years ago, one possessed individual led a large group of Squabblers to the northern village of Oaken. It took a full 2 weeks for the dragons to get word of the news and sort out the affected citizenry. However glad the citizens were to have their wits back about them, they did miss the merriment that the Squabblers had brought them. This, paired with the fact that the Squabblers meant no ill will, and had only been searching for a place to escape the cold of the woods, led to the creation of a yearly holiday in Oaken and the surrounding villages, wherein the villages are open for a full week to the Squabblers, so that they and the villagers may celebrate to their heart's content.
That is quite cute, but also like very risky. I don't know. I think it's very wholesome that they have like a celebration so they can both, you know, like, oh, they miss the partying, and also like the Squabblers miss partying. So it's like a good like back and forth give and take. This still scares me though, I won't lie. It's very scary.
Ruyablorts. Partially named for the distinct deep bubbling they periodically make to sustain their levels of buoyancy, Ruyablorts are immense jellyfish-like creatures used by merfolk throughout the fantastic lands in constructing their undersea homes. Anywhere from 1 to 500 feet in diameter at the bell, Ruyablorts may look like jellyfish, apart from the large, simple, almost horse-like head that matches the same transparency and jelly-like state as the rest of the body. But, unlike jellyfish, their tentacles do not contain any poisons and are actually more or less vestigial growths. Ruyablorts
Vestigial, so like they're useless, like they don't do anything, they just hang.
are primarily filter feeders and are to some extent photosynthetic. The bell is an enormous air sac that keeps the Ruyablorts suspended in the water. Air is taken in and released through a circle of small tubes near the base of the bell. At night, they glow through a soft cycle of translucent turquoise, pink, and green. Merfolk are well known for their pickiness when it comes to decorations, always wanting to find a balance between structure and aesthetics.
I love it. I love them. I love them. I love things that are functional, and I love things that look nice. And also very expected. I mean, W color scheme, pink and green, very nice. Is this some sort of jellyfish? It's like apparently it's not, but it's very jellyfish-like. It doesn't have the anatomy of a jellyfish. It just has, you know, the look and the silhouette of a jellyfish. So, yeah.
To complement the calming iridescence of the Ruyablort's back, the merfolk take such items as discarded abalone shells, glass corals, and pearl sponges as building materials, constructing beautifully elegant towers. As they continue to build and live on the Ruyablort's backs, the Ruyablorts get to eat any scraps that float off the mer cities. Depending on the clan and location, Ruyablort cities can have anywhere from 10 to over 40 of the gentle giants floating together. With the right spells, land dwellers can journey with the merfolk under the sea and enter an almost otherworldly realm of soft rainbow light, as fish, whales, and merfolk alike swim around and within the Ruyablort metropolis. Sun Stealers.
Damn.
Years after.
Oh, this one already kind of scares me. Kind of reminds me of No Face, but also not really. They've got ricks. They've got like rake hats. Cute. But I don't know if they're gonna be very cute in terms of, you know, what they do. They look kind of scary too. I don't know. They look like little, like, you know, like scribbles that you like crumpled up together. You know, like when. Okay, like what's in my head, right, is like, you know, like those videos of like people squeezing like ribbons of chocolate into like a bowl of ice. It feels like that, but like it's plastic, and then you scrunch and crumple it up, and then you melt it together at the very top, and like it's just a bunch of stuff on the bottom, and it's like you know what I mean, right? Good stuff.
After the close brush with the bumpkles, I would make 3 more ventures into the Black Rock Forest. However, on the 4th journey, I was in search of one creature in particular, the fabled beings known as Sun Stealers, said to be tall as the trees themselves and black and cold as a starless night. Heavens know why I would actually want to intentionally go looking for them. The dragons once again sent help with me, this time with a young sapphire dragonling named Tyria and a wise steelback named Jarnadi.
Ooh, okay, I was mistaken. I thought like this whole universe was very like I guess Asia coded. But no. That was just a region of this whole thing. It seems like, yeah, there's a bunch of cultures in here. Like you can actually see the inspiration and where they draw from. It's actually so cool. It's one of my favorite things to do. If I happen to know where a thing draws from, it makes me happy to be able to know. And if I don't know, sometimes I will go looking for it. It's very interesting. It's really cool.
Before leaving, Garin ran up to us with a last-minute gift as well. A potion that would turn us dark as the Black Rock Forest, so that the creatures hiding within could not spy us as we invaded their home. Garin himself would not dare accompany us again. I do not think any less of him for doing so. The trip to the Black Rock Forest felt different this time. Colder. Like the creatures expected our return, and were gleefully waiting to strike as soon as we stepped foot into their lair. I suspected it was just nerves, though as we passed through the rugged lane, I could not help but begin to have second thoughts about coming back. As the first black rock shrubs came into view, and the new moon cast darkness onto the ground, Tyria, Jarnati, and I took out Garin's gift, and each took a drink from the bottle. It was like having a barrel of water from the glaciers of the ridge forced down your throat. But when the chills passed, we could tell Garin's work had been done. We were all still able to see each other, but each of us looked like a reflection in slowly rippling water. A camouflage to shield us from whatever lurked in the trees. We steadied our minds and once again went into the Ashen Trail. Sun Stealers were said to live deep within the Black Rock trees, where the air itself feels like floating pitch, and the slightest sound echoes like the crackling of 1,000 bones. We journeyed for what I think was 2 days. All the while, the Ashen Trail grew less and less pronounced, and the darkness became overwhelming. More than once, Jarnati suggested we concede and turn back, but I was stubborn, and Tyria was eager for adventure. We pushed on.
Oh, that's never a good sign. That is never a good sign. I don't know. Like, if it feels like a good time to stop, it's normally a good time to stop. You know what I mean?
On the 5th day, Jarnati spotted something. A patch of darkness even more ominous than the surrounding black. A darkness that rippled and seemed to ripple and churn. I knew at once we had found a Sunstealer grove. It was well off the Ashen Trail, though we knew that we must step off the path. Tyria was the first to go forward. I am slightly ashamed to say I was the third. The chill grew frigid as we came closer. The silence all-consuming, but we still pressed on. After moving a mere 20 paces, we were soaked with sweat, near collapse. But we made it, and we waited to gaze upon a Sunstealer with a mix of terror and excitement. None came. We waited for hours, and the creatures never appeared. It was maddening. Time slipped away. On the 3rd day, Jarnati finally told us to go back, and with hearts heavy, provisions low, and minds fogging, we relented.
This is usually how it goes, right? You go in looking for something, you'll never find it. You go in trying to avoid something, it's always gonna be there. I don't know what it is, okay? Like, the universe has just decided it has to be the way it is, and the fuck. I guess it's just what you gotta do. Like, if you go in looking for it, you just won't find it. It's normal.
And as we neared the clearing back into the rugged paths, the Sunstealers appeared.
See? The moment you give up, you see it, you find it.
The old scriptures were true. Tall as the trees, like a shroud woven from a black sky. A smooth white depression for a face. 2 black expressionless eyes that looked on us like a child about to curiously crush an insect.
I thought like their faces would be like convex. I did not think it would like be like a depression, like a concave, which scares me a bit because like, is there space for anything else in there? I thought they'd be quite convex. I thought they'd be quite convex, like masks. But I guess not. Yeah. Whoa. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
An ebony crown that floated above their heads with long, slender points. And above the crown, an orb that looked like a star. an orb that made me realize why the Sunstealers were so aptly named. The crown seemed to suck light from the circle, the glow changing from white to gray to black as it reached the crown's base. But it didn't end with the stars within their crowns. What little light that snuck through the trees was dragged to them as well, the black leaves withering as they lost what little sun they could live from, the creatures living within them fleeing or falling dead at the creature's feet. Tyria died. The Sunstealers enveloped her in their cloaks, and when they moved away, she was nothing more than a weathered skin.
Like I said, if it feels like a good time to stop, sometimes it's good to listen to your gut. And also, whoa, crowns? I thought they were rakes.
They parted, as if telling Jarnati and I to leave, as if we had paid the price for their mercy with one life. We stumbled away, and when I looked back, they were gone. The ashen trail was overrun with new black rock plants, as if it had never existed. That was my fourth and final visit to the forest. Without the ashen trail, the dragons themselves have refused to go back.
Fair enough, yeah. Fucking scary ass shit. I'm not going anywhere near that. No, sir.
Trimblewise are among the most numerous creatures in all of fantasy, and
kinda cute, kinda round. Bro's on his butt.
with good reason. They are able to thrive in nearly any environment where there is food. Outwardly, Trimblewise begin their life with an appearance similar to that of a mouse, though without...
They're not very different. I mean, rats. They're not very different at all.
Tail and much more rotund. They have white coats of fur and ruby eyes. As a Trimblewise carries on through its life, its development is shaped by the food it eats. The type of food that the Trimblewise eats will cause changes in its size, shape, coat, and even occasionally the limbs it possesses. Just as the type of food that the Trimblewise eats affects its outward appearance, the quality of the food it eats changes its disposition. High-quality food causes the Trimblewise to become tame and domestic, while garbage causes it to become vicious and dangerous.
You are what you eat. This is an example, a prime example.
For this reason, families will often forego eating the choice portions of their meal in order to appease and train the Trimblewise which may be living in their house. While paying a visit to the court of Florent, I was treated by my host to a pair of curiosities. The Count was in possession of two very unique specimens of Trimblewise, one of which had only ever been fed on gold, and a second which had only ever been fed on rose petals. The first had grown in size an appreciable amount, and had a sleek coat of golden coloration, and was much thinner on the front than in the back, giving it a kind of egg shape. The second did not seem to have grown much. If anything, it had shrunk. However, its coat had been replaced by brilliant layers of red feathers, and it had a thick tail, similar to a dragon's. Later that night, the Count and I feasted on what I was informed was a Trimblewise which had been raised on a diet of beef, pork, and veal. I found the meal quite to my liking.
Interesting. So technically you could probably make different hybrids of different like meats to try. Though I don't see why I would ever really want to mix different kinds of meats. I think they all have their like own individual like great qualities, you know? Question mark, question mark?
Yunsin. The Yunsin is one of the most elusive creatures in all of fantasy. I fear I have little to report on it, as in spite of all the evidence of its existence, no man, dragon, elf, or dwarf has made clear observation of it. There is even still doubt as to whether the Yunsin is a single beast or an entire species. These unknown elements only add to its intrigue, which is why I have included it in this collection. The Yunsin moves at an extremely rapid pace, which is the main reason it has been able to evade observation or capture for all these years. It seems to know instinctively where its hunters are looking, constantly moving out of sight or hiding behind secluded cover. It never seems to leave behind any hair or scent, only its footprints. The trail of prints that the Yunsin leaves are highly unusual, and are the only aspect of the creature's existence which can be readily observed. The prints are composed of a single large circle about the size of a deer's hoof, with 2 smaller circles on the sides of it, and 2 other circles behind it. Once made, a large jet of steam will rise out of each print, mixing in with the morning mists that are present when the Yunsan is most active. Interestingly, the arrangements of the prints may change over time, and have indicated at different times that the Yunsan has anywhere between 1 and 12 legs.
I love how this is basically just a print. Love. 1 in 12 legs is so crazy though. Goddamn. But to be fair, like I can understand like why it's hard to like estimate. I mean, again, cats. I'm so sorry, cats. Like, you know, like they put their back paws exactly where their front paws are. So they don't have to like estimate like if they're gonna be like in a good, like if it's a good spot to put their back legs on. So they'll make the prints with their front legs, and then their back legs will fall exactly where their front legs were before. So, like, I think if I'd never seen a cat before and I saw, like, a bunch of cat footprints, I'd probably think they only had 2 legs.
Vinthril. The Vinthril are a group of creatures that inhabit the Jagged Valley, about 3/4 of the way along the trail to the Black Rock Forest, also known as the Winged Bumpkle. The Vinthril does indeed resemble the towering monopedes in the Black Rock Forest with its round hairy head and mouthful of needle-like teeth, but they are in fact entirely different species.
That kind of looks like a Zubat. Is that a Zubat? No, it's not a Zubat. It's the other one. The one that the Zubat evolves into, I think. I don't remember it. Yeah, I don't really know much about Pokemon. Yeah, I didn't grow up on Pokemon. I only know bits and pieces of Pokemon because of Pokemon Go. Yeah. Question mark. A vampire Kuribo? What's a Kuribo? Question mark. Vampire floof. Yeah, bro, looks like a cotton ball. A Golbat! Yes, a Golbat. Well, I could be wrong though. I think it's a Golbat. Yes. That's the one I'm referring to specifically. Yes. Thank you. Good stuff. From Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh my god, I have yet to catch up with Yu-Gi-Oh! I genuinely have only played like I think about like a total of 6 hours of online Master Duel.
Vinthril do not possess feet. Instead, using their large clawed bat-like wings for both flying and climbing through the cliffs of the Jagged Valley. As it glides, a long tail lined evenly with 3 to 6 balls of fur, similar to its head, trails behind, producing a soft whistling sound as the wind passes through the hairs. Though Vinthril are not above devouring travelers or other animals unfortunate enough to cross them, they are actually predominantly fruit eaters. Specifically, they eat the fruit of the maroon trees that are strong enough to grow on the sides of the cliff faces. The fruit.
So basically, just like the average bat. Basically, the average fruit bat.
Of these trees looks exactly like the head of the Vinthril, round and covered in fibers, and so residents of the Fantastic Lands have taken to calling it Vinthril fruit. While not particularly tasty to most in the Fantastic Lands, to the Vinthril, these fruits play an invaluable role in their reproduction. A female Vinthril will swoop and snatch a number of fruits off a tree while pregnant, and puncture a single hole in the fruit's hard outer shell. From there, it regurgitates an infant Vinthril no bigger than the tip of a finger into the soft innards of the fruit before flying off.
Oh, it's like figs, like wasps and figs. Like wasps, like they burrow into figs and then they do stuff and then they come back out.
The fruit both serves as protection and the food for the juvenile Vinthril until it is strong enough to break free. Up until recently, people thought the similar look between the Vinthril and the Vinthril fruits were just a coincidence, though now it seems the fruits play a larger role in developing Vinthrils than previously thought. While exploring the Jagged Valley, the adventurer Galbion was attacked by a pregnant Vinthril and only escaped by throwing his pack of Guya melons behind him, which the Vinthril immediately took and deposited eggs inside of before flying off. Galbion, intrigued as to why the Vinthril birthed its young in a non-native fruit, stuck close to the Guya melons until the Vinthril hatched. To his, and many other zoologists when he brought the Vinthril back's shock, the creature sported the same bright pink and green coloration as the Guya melons.
Oh, so they're not like... Oh, I did think that like it was weird that they look kind of the same. I guess it makes sense. They take after the thing that they hatch out of. That's
Along
crazy.
with tough spikes lining their bodies instead of the usual hairs. After this discovery, a brief boom in experimental vinthril breeding occurred, with successful births in fruits such as the coconut, pumpkin, and daradara cones. However, people soon realized that these vinthrils suffered from terrible sicknesses as they matured and died painfully shortly after. Nowadays, to prevent the exploitation of exotic hybrids, as well as fear of damaging the natural breeding process, experimental breeding of vinthrils is illegal, and there are several penalties inflicted on anyone who tries to entice a vinthril to birth young in anything other than the vinthril fruit.
Let's go. Yeah, we love that. Good stuff, good stuff. That was honestly put into place very quickly. Like, hell yeah, we love it.
Watchers of the Waning Moon. Once in a while, I will come across a creature that I feel I will never truly be able to understand. The Watchers of the Waning Moon are such a group, shrouded in mystery, and practitioners in a strange and surreal act that even the dragons cannot explain. Watchers live in the brush of the eastern plains, only appearing at night. They have the head and front body of a white stag, with thin, fine antlers adorned with moon lily buds. Some say the antlers are not horns at all, but actual moon lily plants that have sprouted and rooted into their heads. However, due to the Watcher's curious nature, no one has been able to prove one theory or another. The back end of the animal is the tail of a serpent, long, smooth-scaled, and pearly. The tip of the tail ends in a single large moon lily, which, like the flowers on the Watcher's antlers, will remain a bud until the moment of the Watcher's death. These creatures are intensely shy, fleeing and vanishing in a cloud of mist should someone spot them. The only time they show themselves is during the time of the waning crescent of the first moon, during which dozens of Watchers will gather at the plain's thicket and undertake a ritual unlike any other. When the waning crescent of the first moon is highest in the sky, one Watcher from those present will step forward and begin to climb and snake their way up the trees until it rests on top of the leaves. Those below begin to rock and circle in rhythm, their movement along the ground creating strange and perplexing patterns.
They dancing!
All the while, they hum a low, bass-like chorus. As the patterns increase in number, the moon lilies on the tail and antlers of the Watchers atop the trees will begin to open. Once the lilies are fully bloomed, the Watcher will let out a long drawn-out cry before pushing off and jumping high into the air. The lilies will begin to release wisps of pollen, and the Watcher will inexplicably continue to rise like a flying snake for hundreds of feet, continuing to ascend towards the moon. However, as soon as the lily's pollen is spent, the Watcher will cease to rise and plummet to the ground. Upon impact, the broken body of the animal will dissolve into a mist, which rises and dissipates into the night sky. All other Watchers will appear to sigh and fade, clouding the thicket with the same mist until they all disappear. Afterwards, the only evidence of them ever being present are the strange patterns they drew upon the ground.
Honestly, there's so much going on in this world. I'm starting to I don't know. I think I missed this, but I'm starting to wonder if they actually have one entry for each letter in the alphabet. Because we are going in alphabetical order, but I'm not really paying attention to if there is a creature for each letter of the alphabet. I think it'd be pretty cool. Good stuff, good stuff. This is pretty insane, honestly. Question mark. God damn. Yeah, no, I'm gonna try and pay attention to it, but even then, I'm still not quite sure. There's 26 beasts, one for each letter. I see! I wonder how they... what's the word? I wonder how they got it together. I wonder if, they sent it off to, maybe, 26 people and had each of them write. Or, 26 artists, and if each of them, draw the creature, then they wrote based on the creature. I'm so curious about the process behind this. Because it's so crazy. If one person did all this, props. No, seriously, whoa.
When I asked the librarian dragons, Parian and Luthana, about the Watcher's strange practice, they told me they could only guess. There are several scripts that provide a theory to the Watcher's behavior. Some say that the Watchers believe the waning crescent is one of their own, an individual that has attained transcendence in the heavens, and that the creatures on this earth are attempting to join it. Indeed, the moon crescent resembles an arching snake. Other scripts believe the opposite, that the creatures see the moon as a watcher trapped in the sky, and that in jumping, they are attempting to grab it and bring it back down. Either way, it is a fascinating but thoroughly enigmatic insight into the Watcher of the Waning Moon. Whatever the reason, they show no signs of stopping their ceremony. I wonder if they will ever realize that the moon cannot be caught.
Well, don't tell them. You're gonna break their hearts. Don't tell them.
Zargarths. The Volgun dwarfs that live within the steam caverns just miles from the ridge are known for their unmatched talent in metalworking and gem cutting.
Ooh. Okay, I know like my reaction to the previous one, which was like not the previous one, the one that was like on for quite a bit ago, the one that kind of had like the cricket legs, the one with the 6 legs. I don't know why I don't have the same immediate like reaction to this, even though like it's literally a bug, but I think it's so cool that they've actually turned this into like yeah, bro cuts things. It's
Indeed,
pretty cool.
The geothermal caves which they have made their home in are abundant with rare metals and gemstones, and accounts for nearly 40% of all jewelry traded through the fantastic lands. Any piece made by the Volgun is a fine treasure to possess. During their mining in the steam caverns, the Volgun began to notice that carts of gems would return to the surface with fewer stones than originally loaded. Though at first confused, they quickly found a creature mixed in with their gems that was indistinguishable from the stones except when it was feeding. The Zargarths. Zargarths start their lives looking similar to stones such as geodes or agates, with their outer skin covered in a sturdy shell that looks exactly like rock. Within this shell is a mismatch of tissue and organs. Zargarths can spout small red tentacles for locomotion. As they move, a row of microscopic teeth scrape minerals and gather organic matter from the steam cavern's floors and walls. As they grow older, Zargarths begin to abandon feeding on organic matter and turn solely to stones for food. Much to the Volgun's dismay, gemstones were the Zargarths' favored treat. After ingesting the crystals, Zargarths incorporate them into their outer shell, where they grow along with the rest of the creature as if they were part of the body itself.
Damn, so like you could technically farm gems with like these little like insects. That's cool. Damn.
The older a Zargarth grows, the deeper it tunnels into the earth to find more bountiful feasts of jewels. Eventually, they resemble giant slug-like creatures covered in countless crystal growths. Dozens of small stubby legs carry the Zargarth's body as it skitters along the ground. Although at first considered a destructive pest to the gem trade, the Volgun have since been domesticating Zargarths as both a pet and a business helper. As it turns out, Zargarths shed crystals that grow too large. These discarded gems are collected and sold as they are, or further cut into an array of jewelry. Different Zargarths have different preferences for what jewels they ingest.
Sorry, can you imagine like being like one of the door shards being polished into a gem and you're being sold at like the flea market or something, or like just like a market, right? You're being sold and you're being put next to this literal like shed of another insect, like at like the same value. Can you imagine that? That's actually genuinely so funny to me, because I'm sure they know they're intelligent. They're intelligent shards. You put them next to like literal like bug skin. And they're sold for like about the same price.
So the Volgun are sure to keep scouting for further varieties of Zargarth subspecies. During my last visit, I saw magnificent specimens of ruby, opal, and even diamond Zargarths in Volgun care. The good dwarf Lair gave me a beautiful fire opal that had fallen off one of the creatures, which I now carry in my travel bag wherever I go. The Yanyar and the Yanyiris. There is a forested ring of islands east of the fantastic lands that has been left largely uncharted due to a species even the dragons shudder to hear mentioned. The Yanyar.
Another one?
The Yanyar spread
Yanyar.
cold and lifelessness wherever they walk, blanching everything around them as they continuously sap vitality. Anything living or inanimate that comes too close to the Yanyar will collapse, grayed and cold in a matter of seconds. Such behavior has caused the trees, the earth, and even the surrounding sea of their home to turn gray as dust, and so the Yanyar's home is aptly known as the Monochrome Islands. And so the Yanyar's home is aptly known as the Monochrome Islands. Physically, the Yanyar are tall and lean, like the elves, though they do not wear garments and lack any parts to identify gender, if they so have them. Their skin is the same gray as everything they touch, and their hands and feet both have long, nailless digits that constantly grip and ungrip with a chilling fluidity. However, the most distinctive and chilling part of the Yanyar are their faces. A bulbous, smooth head, far too large for a body of their thinness, with squinted gray eyes that appear disturbingly human. While normally featureless apart from the eyes, the Yanyar's head will split vertically into thirds to reveal two separate jaws with even needle-like teeth.
I can see why the dragons don't like them. And, besides, what they do, turn everything cold and gray, I don't like them visually. They really bug me. It's not just that they bug me, it's that there's just something about that mouth that splits into a Y in that fashion that really bothers me. I don't know what it is. Like, it makes me feel a certain way because it reminds me of worms. It reminds me of like how certain worms have they literally just, it looks like that, but it's like Dune, Yeah, no, that's the mouth. Yeah, that's the mouth. It's so gross. You know what I initially thought was the mouth? The eyes, the slits, because it almost looks like there's a tongue coming out of it, but I'm not even sure anymore. Genuinely, question mark.
During this time, no one can see that the Yanyar's eyes are more akin to a tongue, a sensory organ attached to a fleshy stalk that runs all the way down its throat. It is believed that the Yanyar are blind and rely on these eyes to smell their surroundings, like a
Hold on. Eyes that don't see? Tongues that don't taste? No nose, but all smell. Whoa, what the fuck? What's going on here?
tasting the air. The first Yanyar ever seen washed ashore on the beaches of the Fantastic Lands 60 years ago. And it was from this corpse's autopsy that most of the information about this species was obtained.
It's the fact that oh my god, the fact that they had to autopsy something like this. How would you even know what to look for? How would you understand the anatomy enough to really know what to look for? Have it still be in good shape? Question mark. Does it go all the way up like it's a double jaw? I guess it does. I guess it would be considered a jaw from the very top of each of the sides all the way to the very bottom. That's one jaw. Oh, I hate it so much. I don't like how this one looks.
Easy to see where it had come from, even in death. The Yanyar's corpse left a trail of gray in the ocean waves, though said trail was lost after the dragons pursued it for dozens of miles offshore.
Dude, bro is killing the sea! How do you do this? That's insane! Oh my, I have no comment.
It would take another 20 years to find the Monochrome Islands, yet only 6 months for the Dragon Council to declare the area off limits to all. Most of the Fantastic Land's inhabitants simply believed the Yanyar were too dangerous to go near, and left it at that. I, however, know the deeper meaning behind the Monochrome Island being sealed from the world. In a different time, I would have probably been imprisoned, maybe even banished from the Fantastic Lands. However, now that my home is all but abandoned, I leave this information to whomever may stumble upon it. The Yanyar corpse we recovered was mutilated, with huge circular punctures throughout the body. Strangely, the wound had no exposed flesh. Instead, a black empty void filled the gap. When the poor dragon Dr. Herodis tried to examine the wounds, the void turned his flesh to pure black. He looked like a living shadow in his final moments. Then, with a cry, Herodis faded out of existence.
Oh, people were not banned from this island. These guys were quarantined into that island. Oh my goodness.
When the dragons finally discovered the monochrome islands, they found their explanation to the darkness seen on the first Yanyar's body. Beneath the dark waters of the Yanyar's home lays the Yanyrus, an even more terrifying creature than the beings above.
How did these even come to be? Like, again, like, if we look at it from, like, an evolutionary standpoint, what the fuck were they adapting to? And are they even naturally occurring beings? That's another question, you know?
From what the dragons observed, the Yanyrus appeared to be worshipped as a god by the Yanyar. The Yanyar will cast themselves off sheer cliffs of the island to the sea below, where shadowy tentacles rise in the thousands to spear the bodies and drag them below. It is unknown how large the Yanyrus is, though its limbs alone are long enough to effortlessly scale the 2,000-foot cliffs of the Yanyar's home and then some. The touch of the Yanyrus appears to have the same graying effect as the Yanyar's touch, but on a much more powerful scale, capable of turning things to blackness, and then nothing. As seen with Herodis, the touch of the Yanyrus persists long after initial contact. This similarity has driven me to make a hypothesis about the being's relationship. Perhaps the Yanyrus gave the Yanyar some of its power years and years ago in return for their servitude.
But what do you do? What do you do with that kind of power? Like, what's the point of having a power like that? Like, I think it restricts you, if anything. Right? That's so crazy. Oh, jeez.
Dozens of islands surrounding the Yanyar's home show signs of ancient ruins. Could the Yanyar have conquered these neighboring lands and brought them to their master? It seems like a plausible explanation, though since there has been no life other than the Yanyar, the Yanyrus has since resorted to devouring its servants. The once much beneficial relationship has become grimly one-sided.
I wonder how they reproduce. Cause like, I mean, if the Yanyrus needs a food source, how do they reproduce? Like normal? Like they do the thing? It's question mark?
Xeralasp. In a fitting but bitter sense, the Xeralasps will be the last entry in this storybook, as they were the last creatures of the Fantastic Lands at the end of the war, and the first to die out in the new beginning. Although their bodies resembled that of a swan, their skin was more attuned to that of the pearl-crested dolphins that once swam the iridescent seas to the south. Their eyes were the deepest of blue, their wings forever softly shining like fluid ivory, their mouths a smooth, toothless bill that curved ever so slightly upward. They were capable of taking a human form as well, resembling angels and awing all those they passed.
That's so crazy. Like, this is the closest we're gonna get to, like, actual, literal angels in this, like, you know, in this
as
universe.
Beautiful as they were intelligent, the Xeralasp were a vain and conceited race of creatures who forever
Never mind!
squabbled with the dragons over whose wisdom and looks were superior, and so were disliked by a great number of the Fantastic Land's inhabitants, for whom the dragons were born leaders and advisors. As a result,
so I don't know. I don't know a lot of high elves, but I mean, I know what I am. I don't meet a lot of high elves anyway. This reminds me of them.
The Xeralasp secluded themselves from all other beings for nearly a millennia, constructing a citadel of their own to live apart from those they deemed inferior. They ignored all pleas for help in times of calamity, and rejected all offerings of friendship. It was not until the third awakening of the lightning-struck Titan that the Zeralasp were seen again. Vamarov's storm returned with terrifying ferocity, and the Titan rose with its strength multiplied tenfold. Half of the Magician's Council perished in the ensuing fight with the beast, along with nearly 100 dragons, 1,000 birds, and 1,000 more spirits, and still the Zeralasp refused to act.
Damn, I can kind of see why they're not very liked. I mean, the whole Titan thing seemed like such a historical thing, you know? Like, genuinely. I was not expecting them to make a comeback, like, at the very end, just like that. But it would make sense. It seems like a very big deal. Like, if anything, now that I see it, I'm surprised it didn't show up more in, like, other entries, you know?
And so, the Maker himself came to the Zeralasp. His face dark with fury, his eyes normally full of compassion, brimming with icy rage. He spurned their race, accused them of being petty cowards who watched as their world burned around them. For their vanity, he cursed their citadel, enchanted it so that no Zeralasp could ever set foot in it again, then covered it in the ashes of those killed by the Titan as a reminder of the suffering the Zeralasp could have helped prevent. Overcome with despair of what they had lost and what they could have had, the Zeralasp vowed to never turn their backs on the rest of the fantastic lands again, and charged into the center of the Titan's path. Side by side with the dragons they once despised and the master they adored, the Zeralasp beat back the beast to its mountain once again. The Titan fell back into its slumber, but the grief and devastation brought about lingered for decades to come.
Oh, dude, I don't know how I feel about that though. I feel like there's a difference between like, oh, I want to help because it's the right thing to do versus, oh, consequences. Oh, fine, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I think there's a very big difference. And I'm not sure how to feel about them right now.
The Zeralasp worked with renewed fervor in rebuilding to make up for all the time they had shut themselves away. They became the chief architects of the fantastic lands and filled this world with their incredible and intricate handcraft. This lasted for another 1,000 years, and life prospered. And less than 3 decades ago, the Great War began, and all the Zeralasp had, or ever would create, was destroyed in the calamity that followed. Once again, the Maker came, but this time his eyes held only grief, as he was forced to smite those who had fanned the flames of destruction. The Zeralasp desperately tried to bring back peace, but to no avail. And so they fell into despair. When the last buildings finally crumbled, the Zeralasp had turned black from the ash and smoke. Their blue eyes turned bloody red from grief. As the surviving others filed out of the fantastic lands, the Zeralasp stayed behind, silent as the stones of their cities. And within these ruins, they remain, turned to stone, as the sun sets for the final time, and the world turned cold.
This is the craziest downfall. Like, they went from being, like, thinking they were better than everybody to now literally this. Whoa. Holy shit. Like, damn. They weren't just taking down a peg. They were taking down, like, a whole thing. I don't even know what comes after a peg.
So, there you have it, folks. The last memories that we have of SCP-1762 and the land that they come from.
You can almost hear how tired the Volgun is. Like, if we're tired, like, if I'm tired personally from you know, like, listening in on this, and it's not that it's bad, it's not that it's boring, it's just that it's very long, right? Like, I do tire out. If I'm tired from this, I can only imagine how tired the Volgun is from reading all of that. Can we again get a quick 07 in chat, like just for Volgun? Thank you so much, the Volgun. I don't think he's ever gonna watch this video, but thank you so much for putting so much time into this. Get some 07s in chat. Yeah, let's go, let's go. Oh my goodness, this was very long. This is very, very long.
Wait, what? What is that? What is
there
this?
more? Wait, huh?
Is this a containment breach? Tell me I'm not the only
Shut
one
up!
seeing this. What does this mean? Does this mean they're back? You all seen the box materialize, right? That wasn't there whenever we came in here. It wasn't here whenever I was eating my lunch. I know that. I swear, if this is Takanaka playing a joke, he is dead. But if he's not playing a joke, that means I'm dead. Wait a minute. They just dropped a note. Let me get...
A note?!
Oh, man. This note. It says, "You didn't forget us."
Shut up! Okay, I wasn't crying before. I'm gonna start crying now! I'm actually gonna start crying. I was not expecting this. What the fuck? I feel like all of the emotion is kind of like just started. Dude. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. This is insane! This is insane! I feel like everything just started crashing down on me again. Like, you know what? Good ending.
I guess whenever I read the book, the imagination triggered something. You know, my lectures never really end with a moral lesson, but because of all this, what the dragons have done, and for the first time in a year, I have ended a lecture with more people than I started with. Let's have a moral conclusion, shall we?
You can hear the emotion in his voice. You can actually hear him start to get a little bit like ooey gooey. Oh my god.
And that moral conclusion is this. Never forget your loved ones. Keep them alive with your memories and your stories and your thoughts. Because if you do that, then they're never truly gone. Thank you for listening. If indeed you still are. And you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
Oh gosh. This is the first time class has been dismissed and I don't want to like just leave immediately. This is insane.
So before
this
I
is
thank
crazy.
my patrons, I have to thank SCP Containment Breach Unity. Without these guys' support, this video would not have turned out anywhere near as good as I wanted it to turn out. Especially Corvus B, who put so much effort into the musical score of this video. Without Corvus B, this video would not have sounded anywhere near as good.
Wait, the musical score is original? Wait, huh? Dude! That's so fucking sick! I had no idea this had like an original like score. That's so cool. Okay, like normally like a lot of videos they'll usually get like music from like Epidemic Sound or something like that, or like they'll use like music they personally have like gotten the license to use. I don't think I've seen a video so far, at least like not reacted to a video so far, or at least I don't know a video so far that I've reacted to that has their own original score. That's so fucking cool.
I feel like I have to have a specific shout out to Corvus in this video. I really hope you enjoyed this video because it's the most fun I've had creating a video in months. The Containment Breach Unity team are true professionals and were a joy to work with, and I really want to do it again. So leave a comment down below if you would like us to collaborate on a future SCP, because I really want to make this happen. If I were you, I would go and download SCP Containment Breach Unity and give it a try. All links will be in the description. Visit www.scp-unity for one of the best interactive SCP experiences you can find. Thanks again to everyone who helped. And now, on to my patrons.
We have to play this. We have to play this. Holy
I would
crap.
like to give a special thank you to The Reclusive Extrovert, James Saba, Chris Ball, Pablo Ice 917, Caleb Chaffins, Kareem L. Ashmawi, Justin Day, Brockery Man, Thomas Moran,
Ooh.
Curie Coma, White Crow,
I'm gonna do a quick stretch.
NJ Vojak, Crystal Spice, my archive curator Nick, King Madding, and The Wanderer. Thank you all so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated.
I'm just realizing now that I'm not sure like if this video is older or newer than the video that I commented on previously, but like there's a new tier. So like we saw like a bunch of junior researchers, right? Field agents, yes, senior researchers, and then it went straight to the ethics committee. I assume it's like one of the older videos. I had no idea they had like a new like tier called like the 05 Council. That is very cute.
If you would like a special thank you at the end of each of my videos, and some other cool stuff as well, visit patreon.com/the Volgun. Thank you.
So fucking sick. Genuinely so fucking sick.